All righty, we are live and we are recording. I am Eliza Bloom Robinson, and this is the Center for Divine Awakening. Are we pointing at something over there? Yay! Okay.
This is my other daughter. This is Alicia.
Oh, Alicia's in town. Awesome. Awesome. I'm like, okay, there's Michaela.
No, this is Alicia.
And Debbie's watching and Nancy's watching, both on Facebook. So awesome. Welcome, Alicia. I'm so glad you're there. So now you need that wide screen. All right, so we are, oh, hey, James Mellow Brown is watching. How great to see you tonight. So, take a breath. This is Sunday, the 17th of December, and this is the Center for Divine Awakening. I'm going to see if I can mute. We've got Zoom and Facebook Live. If you could mute yourselves, please, I'd appreciate it. Becky, can you get yourself muted, please? Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Okay. All right. So if you are live on Facebook, we have a live on Facebook going, and we also have a Zoom going at the same time. So we've got a couple of devices running. And it's always a little bit of an interesting thing for me to bounce back and forth. So, but here we go. So, I'm so glad that you're all here. It is the 17th of December. We are well into the Christmas season. This is the Center for Divine Awakening, our weekly inspirational insight and metaphysical musing, followed by discussion live on Zoom. And so tonight we're looking at the reason for the season, and I wanted to really kind of dive into this because we have a really wide audience here. My background, I am, many of you know, a Christian New Thought minister. I'm ordained in Unity, and we practice practical Christianity. But also in my audience, it's a very broad audience, and we're reaching across even broader than metaphysical and broader than New Thought. And we have lots of different people represented. So I wanted to kind of dive into a reason for the season that might be a little different than what you think. I also wanted to just open up space. This week in particular, I've talked to so many different people who are really struggling. And that's not all that unusual during the Christmas season. You know, many of us celebrate, and we're with family and we're with friends, and we have lots of parties, and we have lots of food, and we have lots of gifts and giving and receiving, and it's really a lot of fun. But there is a whole segment of the population, you know, on our planet who struggle. You know, either they've had grief or death, or maybe they've got estranged family members. I came into a conversation just yesterday with a woman who was sharing a lot of her story about being estranged from her adult daughter and therefore her grandchildren. And in that particular thread, there were dozens of people who were like, yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. And my heart goes out to them, in particular this year, because I'm working on the next launch, basically, of my signature program, focusing, not entirely, but focusing on a segment of moms who are experiencing trauma and drama and struggle and suffering and despair even around their kids, whether they're teenagers or adult kids. And it was really focusing, or I thought I was going to focus on moms who are dealing with kids who have addiction issues. And part of that came from my own history many years ago when we walked through a journey with my son that was just absolutely the hardest thing I've ever walked through in my entire life. And I was speaking about this, and I'm like, wow, it was just bringing myself to tears. I said, I want to reach out to this particular group. And upon doing that, what has shown up is this estrangement for, who knows what reason, and it doesn't even matter what the reason is. But I want to just open space, consciously open space for anybody who might be struggling, in that regard or any other way in this holiday season. We're a week out from Christmas, which means we're 2 weeks until the end of this year. For many of us, it's been a phenomenal year. And for many of us, it's been like, oh, when will this year end? And so the whole spectrum is happening. So for tonight's inspirational insight, I want to just dive into what is the reason for the season. And I want to start out by just really addressing the idea that Christmas, metaphysically, in the New Thought world, is about celebrating the birth or the new birth of that divinity within each and every one of us. And so we can go from that into just, historically, in the Christian world, we celebrate the birth of the babe, Jesus, who was born in Bethlehem. But the crazy thing about that, Jesus wasn't even born in December. So we celebrate, we have this huge and commercialized and secularized and this whole big thing around December 25th. And yet December 25th, historically, is celebrated by many different mythologies, by many different religions, by many different segments of the population, all the way back into ancient Rome and earlier than that. And December 25th is symbolic in a lot of ways, but it's the winter solstice. It's the shortest, well, not exactly like the days. So I know that, right? And you know that too. But we're celebrating the turn. We've passed through the shortest day of the year and the longest night of the year. We're deep into the winter. For those of us in this hemisphere anyway, we're deep into the season. Harvest is already done. There's actually physically as well as emotionally and mentally more time and space for quiet, to go within. Winter metaphorically is about dropping in, going within, going into our cave, if you will. It's also coming up towards the end of the year, where it's also historically and in every tradition a time to look at what's come, what has been in this past year, and what are we going to prepare to birth again. And so Romans from way back in like 200 and 300 BCE practiced, pagans practiced, lots of different religions and groups practiced and celebrated this time of year, even the Jews in the Hanukkah. And the Hanukkah is the Festival of Lights. It's the rededication of the temple, and that was back like about 300 BCE also. So many, many, many years. And it wasn't until about the 1800s, right? That wasn't that long ago, the 1800s, that the whole idea of gift giving got wrapped up with Christmas. It was different traditions used to practice gift giving on the 1st of January or New Year's Eve as a new beginning, as a way to celebrate. So then since the 1800s, and particularly in the last few decades, we've become so commercialized. It's so much about more stuff. But what if we just take the metaphysical, and not even New Thought metaphysics, the metaphorical? What if we bring back into the Christmas season the mystery and the magic and the miracles? What if we really were to take this time between now and the first week or two in January to really drop within and to do sort of a soul review? It's the perfect time of year to do so. You know, what did we hope for a year ago? What did we hope for? What did we dream for? What did we birth a year ago? And what is it within us that is wanting to be birthed? One of my favorite Christmas stories that I've shared for many years, in the context of a Unity Church, is the idea of Mary. Mary was the virgin, the innocent young girl who was visited by the angel. So many people, listening are very attuned to angels and guides and mystical, miraculous messages. I'm using lots of alliterations tonight. I think that's kind of fun. It was sort of planned, but not entirely. But what if it wasn't so much about a teenage girl who wasn't ready, who was yet a virgin, who was going to birth this Messiah, this Christ presence, this new king, this savior onto the planet? What if it wasn't so much that, but that Mary's a part of us? Even yes, you guys who were watching, that Mary's a part of us, and Mary is that innocence, right? That younger, the not yet cynical, the ripe for adventure, the one that is so dedicated to creation and serving creation and to love and to light and to joy and all of that. And what if there was an angel? This angel happened to be called Gabriel, or maybe it has an angel of your own name, or an angel that comes to you. And this angel said to you, right now, tonight, right now, this angel said to you, oh, you are my favored one. I come to you this night, this moment. I come to you because you have found favor. I come to you and I tell you that you are about to birth a divine idea. It's already within you. And you say, yeah, but I'm not ready. I'm yet a virgin. I can't do that. That's impossible. And the angel says, oh no, it's quite possible. And so lean into your own being. Lean into the depths of your soul. Close your eyes if you want to. And what is it that is wanting to be birthed in you? What is it that is wanting to be birthed in you? It might be an idea. It might be a dream. It might be a vision. It just might be simply more love, or more joy, or more connection. Those of you who are struggling or feeling isolated or feeling estranged, it might be, I just want to feel connected. I just want to be a little happier. I just want to experience a little more joy. It doesn't matter what it is. And the angel says to you, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid, for you have found favor with all of creation. And this divine idea that is already within you is being brought forth through you unto the world. And it will be a gift. And you have already conceived. And you shall call this divine idea your own miracle, your own gift to the planet, your own gift to the world. Just receive that. Just receive that. What if this is your story? And what if that little tiny glimmer of an idea, almost not even yet conceived, what if this little glimmer of an idea is implanted in your beingness? And you are the one to bring this forth. And you are the one, when you bring this forth, as you bring this forth, that will be the light and the love and the joy and the connection that will turn this world around. I think most of us can agree that we could use some miracles in the world. You know, I think so much about California, who's still under fire, and all of the things that so many people have experienced this year with our weather and our storms and our hurricanes and our floods. And I think of the people who are, we have two friends, two people who are extremely close to us, who are both in hospice and not expected to live through the end of the year, right? So those families, those loved ones, those people who are hurting, like I talked about earlier, those who are estranged from friends or family, or whatever yours is, and maybe your life is beautiful and brilliant and bold, and that's wonderful, and lean in. And what is that in you that is wanting to be birthed, that can make a difference in the world? What is it in you that is wanting to be birthed or awakened, right? Divine awakening. It's about the awakening of that deeper part of ourselves so that we can have a world that works for all people. And is that not with the birth of Jesus the babe, the Christ presence, the divinity within each and every one of us? Is that not the message of the birth? But what if this year it's within you? And can you lean into, can you imagine, can you experience the vibration of being the one that bursts this idea? Can you lean into being the one with everyone else that brings our gift that changes the world, so that we have a world that works for all, that we have a world of love, of compassion, of kindness, of equality, that it no longer matters the color of your skin or who you worship or who you love. We come to know oneness in ourselves, with ourselves and that which we call spirit or God or creation, and with each other. And so what if the real reason for the season this year is that we awaken to oneness, that we awaken to the truth that we are never alone. Even when we feel isolated, we are never alone. What if we awaken this year to the reason of the season, that love is really all that matters? Love in your own heart. Can you know that you are love? Can you know that you are loved? Can you know that you are lovable forever and ever and ever? And that you have a divine gift to bring to the world, and now's the time. And you're the one. Not only you, but you and you and you and you and you and me and you and you and you and you. That we are the ones. That we are the ones. And now is the time. I know this so deeply in my heart. You can feel, I don't know if you can feel the emotion. It is time. What's being birthed in me is a much bigger idea. I've had the idea of awakening for a long, long time. I have the idea of a virtual ministry a long, long time, and there's something in me that is being birthed, that is taking a stand for all people. For all people. That all people are awakening to a whole new world. That all people have enough, are enough. That all people know oneness. And so with me for a moment, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. We're going to do a little meditation and just breathe into the depths of your being. Feel your feet connected to the floor. Feel the energy, the vibration of this time of year Call it solstice, call it Hanukkah, call it Kwanzaa, call it Christmas, call it midwinter, call it whatever you want, call it. Feel the energy of that going deep within, of letting go of that which no longer serves in order to birth the next level, the next layer of yourself. What if the real reason for the season is your own birth, your own rebirth, your own awakening? And so lean into that for a moment. Hold the possibility of that for a moment. And then imagine that. The birth of love. The awakening of a love like you've not known yet. An awakening of oneness. An awakening of connection. Feel it in yourself like a light being turned on. And feel it in every person who's watching this, either live or the recording. Feel it like the light turning on. And our lights are popping up all over the globe. And imagine the entire globe, every single light that's being turned on, connecting, surrounding the entire planet with light, as light. There's a vibration here. There's an energy here. It is happening right now, whether we are aware of it or not. When we are aware of it, we activate it consciously. We increase the light. We increase the energy. We increase the awareness and the commitment. See that world. See our globe enfolded in light, and feel that light raining down on every single person on this planet, that they might be touched by a light that they may or may not even understand, but that light sparks in them an awareness of love, of peace, of hope, and of joy. As that light enfolds and encircles the planet, feel it circling all the way around, coming right back to land in the very center of your being. Place one hand on your heart, the other hand on your belly, your lower belly. The real reason for the season is your awakening. Awaken to love. Awaken to light. Awaken. If you are so willing, say to yourself, I am opening to a deeper love. I let my light so shine. I am awakening. And we know this to be true, and we claim this to be true, and we proclaim it right now in this moment for each and every person. In this moment, and this moment, and this moment on and on and on. And so it is, and so it shall be. Take one more deep breath in. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And so the real reason for this season is the opportunity to awaken. It's the opportunity to know more hope, more love, more light, more of your divine essence in this moment and every moment forward. I'm Eliza Bloom Robinson, Transformational Catalyst, your spiritual mentor and the founder of the Center for Divine Awakening. This is our weekly inspiration, insight, and metaphysical musing. And there is if you're on Facebook Live, there is a Zoom link. Feel free to click on that if you'd like to jump on over. We'll spend the next little bit in a conversation about this inspirational insight. What day is it? Every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we are right here live on Facebook, followed by a conversation. Again, I'm Eliza Bloom Robinson, Center for Divine Awakening. Thank you so much for being with us. Good night, everyone.